Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Quick look here again at ICP, seeing what's going on. Well, we still haven't broken through this descending trend line, so we got to keep an eye on that, folks. Just kind of make sure we understand the price could pull back, not necessarily because of that, but the strong likelihood here is basically because Bitcoin's starting to sell off and retrace. And if it does come down to that 60.5 or just say 62.5 range, which is a possibility here at this point, then we'll see ICP likely continue down lower. So me personally, I'm still interested in a target somewhere around the 850 to 880 range as a rough estimate of where I want to enter. Again, that's some more recent highs and more recent supports that were previous resistances. Okay, again, just some things to kind of think about. So if you are new to the channel, I just ask you to quickly hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance, and just help us grow the channel. And obviously you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link down below. We're bringing new features over as well, such as our trade alerts section here, where you can kind of see my thoughts on the trades that we're planning to take. And obviously, of course, these are the results of those trades that we take here too. We took a nice 20% profit from Bitcoin shorts, and then of course 80% profit up to that exact same point in which we reversed the trade. Okay, that was what 64,800. So we shorted from 64.8 down to 63.5, I think it was. Either way, we're avoiding altcoins for the moment, not specifically because I want to avoid them. There was a lot of movement yesterday. I just don't like FOMOing into coins that are just overextended. And right now, ICP is moderately overextended, but it's consolidating nicely here. So very well could leg up again. Let's go ahead and see if that's the case. So we'll start with the daily time frame. Actually, no, correction. We'll go back to the daily time frame here in a little bit, but let's quickly note the back-end data first, okay? So let's take a look here. We got a lot of liquidation down as low as about $7 to $8 as a rough estimate. Quite a decent amount in the last 7 days. Of course, that's very standard, very normal for a price action when the price pushes up high and doesn't retrace at all, okay? Keep in mind, we have potential for strong retracement or a pretty solid push down to sweep those areas of liquidation because the price hasn't moved down yet, okay? But also keep in mind too, we got a lot of liquidation by the price action now as well with some late shorts. Those could also get destroyed. So again, it's kind of a flip of a coin at this point, just based on looking at what we see here on the liquidation. That's why you never just make a decision on these factors, but it's helpful to know where we're at. Okay, last thing to note too, is a pretty solid amount of liquidation still left at that $10 mark, 10 to 10.50. So I would say one more leg up would make sense, but again, oftentimes that last leg up, which is why you see 1 through 5 for Elliott wave or ABC patterns, is the fact that we should see a pullback before that happens. Okay, again, it's just kind of a natural way that trading should occur. And you can kind of see that reflected here. So to touch on this, again, this is not exact science at all. But when Elliott wave kind of provides you with some options here, generally the fourth wave has to be higher than the first. So we have our first wave up here. Our second wave is that impulse wave. And now we're pulling back here. Likely, again, this isn't guaranteed, but likely if this is the top, to this low $8 range to maintain that more recent high. As we can see, $8.40 is a strong previous resistance level, likely to work as a new support. That's generally what we're looking at there. So that being said, let's go ahead and just look at the data here. First of all, we're over the 50-day SMA. Even though we're below the descending trend line, generally the trend line runs concurrent with the 50-day SMA, which we saw that happen. But the fact that we're above that and we came back down to bounce off that level implies that we're probably on the right side of the tracks here and we're in pretty solid shape. In other words, it's a very, very good sign to be above that level. We can, however, see stochastic maxed out and trying to pull back, which is normal and common in situations like this. We can also see that we're not quite at 70 on the RSI, so we haven't hit that resistance level. I would say the 10 to 1030 range is probably that more specific resistance range we got to respect, because the fact that the price action is more likely to reject off that level being a previous low. It'll likely be the new high, okay? So that also speaks to this amount of liquidation we see here at 1025, right? It's the exact same level. Once more, liquidation levels occur at a lot of support and resistance range. And the reason why that happens is just because people have confidence in knowing that level could hold, at least the first time. And that's usually true. All right, let's go ahead and see here on the 4-hour time frame. Let's quickly look at T sequential and recognize that we are hitting our top. We've recently became overextended. We hit basically two 9s on TT sequential, or a 9 and an 8. That implies we had about 68 to 72 hours of continuation in the same direction without retracement. So it would make sense for the price to pull back to those lower liquidation levels to bounce because of that reason. Okay, again, it's not a guarantee, but it's a distinct probability. Having a look here as well at the RSI though, this is something you gotta recognize. We're not under 70 yet, so there's no reason to consider selling because the fact that ICP is still showing a lot of strength and it's above that previous resistance. Okay, so generally speaking, you don't want to short into this. So if you are going to consider a long position with ICP at in the $8 range, upper eights, I think that would be a much better call than trying to short to that level, because we don't know we're going to get down to that range. Okay, again, that's just me personally thinking out loud here. It's never a good idea. However, we can see MACD trying to diverge, and generally speaking, that is a good sign letting us know that the momentum is shifting. It's having trouble getting much higher here and is more due for a correction. So again, I have my alert set here close to $9. We come to that range. I may consider a long entry. Just depends on how the overall market looks at that point. But again, if Bitcoin pulls back to the 60,500 or 62.7 mark, which kind of already sort of happened with that 0.5 fib level, we could very well see this $8.50 to $9 range hit for ICP. But either way you look at it, we're mostly bullish here, being above all moving averages. Our setting trend line is looking good. We just got to kind of respect the fact that we're overextended, and either a correction or just basically sideways action from here, it is more likely to occur. Okay. However, let's take a quick look at the hourly and kind of summarize here. The lagging span is now intersecting with the price action. It's generally a sign to consider selling your position or closing majority of it, because the momentum has shifted, right? We can also see the lagging span is below the price action. Sorry, correction. The lagging span is free and clear. The conversion line is below the baseline, and the actual cloud itself is right there at this support here. So this does imply that 940 should work as a support level, which it has already. But it also implies that we've lost momentum. The likelihood for a reversal is higher. So in turn, you should maybe consider securing profits. So the reason why people get destroyed in crypto, just so you know, from what I've noticed, because I've been working with community members for the last 3+ years, and the majority of them come over because they're listening to these other idiots online to hold on for dear life when they have a 100x leverage trade and they never secure profits. I mean, if you take a look at this here, like for example, this $10.25 mark, that's what people shorted that a month ago, and they still haven't closed their position. Can you imagine being close to your position closing and being so stubborn that you don't secure profits when you've had probably thousands of dollars to be able to secure? That frustrates me to see that, and unfortunately it happens quite a lot. But generally speaking, what I'm getting at here is that if you're in profit and you took a trade down at the $6 or $7 mark and you're 50% up and you're trying to get 100% return, I get it. I totally get it. But you may as well secure the profits. Price pulls back, get in again. Again, I know a different story for different situations. If it's like you're only one attempt to trade and you just don't care about the rest, it's fine. But if you're actually going to be considered a trader or consider yourself as a trader, you literally have to trade to do that, right? You don't just hold on forever. Again, this is a good market. Things are looking better, but you still want to secure profits when you can, because there have been so many times where people just get greedy and just totally give up their awesome profit or their wonderful position. So okay, enough preaching there. I'm sorry, I do that a lot. I appreciate you listening and learning, hopefully, if you did. And make sure you comment below if you haven't already. Join us over here at BitUnix. Link down below, CryptoCache.tech as well for our Premium or Premium Plus group. And once more, we had some pretty solid profits here today. So awesome stuff, folks. Thanks again. Congrats. Looking forward to work with you. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one. Take care.